And this is what you can do with cauliflower, and it's really easy. And it's like, you know, one of those days in the midweek where you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And instead of buying takeaway, this is like gonna save you so much time. So, hot pan is what we're gonna do first. Super, super hot. I really do want this to have that kind of char grilly kind of feeling to it. Just a little splash of oil. Now you can use avocado, you can use olive. It's really up to you what you want to use. It's your gig, right? Onion and garlic's going in, everybody, so this might, yeah? Yep. This might affect us. And basically, seriously, salt and pepper first to pull out some flavor. And I seriously want them to get some color. So I've got a bit of color here, perfect. They're starting to do their thing. This has taken like, what, 3 minutes, guys, yeah? Come on, baby, cook. All right, so here in goes this little gorgeous situation. Okay, get in there, get in there, get in there, everybody. You're just kind of mixing it around, so easy, right? Like, think about it. Cauliflower. It's like one of those things, right? It's mind-blowing what you can do with veggies. Just stay with it, chill out, breathe. Know you're supported and loved and your body's working for you and never against you. And let the cauliflower sink into the onion and garlic. Sinking, 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 sinking. You should come into chef's kitchens, right? When it's on in a restaurant. Oh my God, it's hilarious. The stuff that happens, I tell you, is so funny. It's kind of like the cameraman. The stuff that happens in here is pretty funny.
Your cameraman is like a very handyman too, right?
The cameraman, Wira, is a handyman. Fixes everything. Actually, can you put the number plates on my scooter today? That would be helpful. All right, so it's coming down a little bit. It's like kind of like, it's still crunchy, right? And I want it to be crunchy. I really do. I don't want it to melt into mush. I want a bit of texture when I bite into my tacos. Super important, Cynthia, reminder. And it's happening right now. Notice how I haven't put the spices in yet? Because I'll just burn. So just keep going, Cynthia. Patience, 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 patience.
How long are you going to cook the cauliflower for?
What's it been like? How long, Komang? About 5 minutes? It's been about 5 minutes. It's been about 5 minutes so far. But my pan's getting a little bit dark. Have a look at this, Wira. So you want to be mindful of that because you don't want to get that burnt, because if you get that burnt and I add some liquid in there, it's going to taste bitter. So just keep your pan nice and low and make things move around a little like this. Okay, now I'm going to add my spices in. And just all of them at once. Oh, do you smell that smoky paprika?
Oh my God.
A little splash of water, just like a tablespoon. So this is the time you taste it. All right, Cynthia, make sure your pan's on low. Keep things moving. Chefs love to keep things moving. Smelling, oh my God, the smoky paprika is outstanding. Just stay with it. Oh yeah, now I'm kind of in Mexico. Not really, but kind of. Straight into here.
That smells yummy, chef.
It does smell yummy. Okay, so notice how it's really, what's that, grainy, I suppose. Like it's just kind of, just gonna fall apart. Like it's just gonna come out. Imagine eating tacos and this is in there, it's just gonna just make a huge mess. So half of it is gonna go into this food processor. Wow, that smoky paprika is such a great spice to have on your shelf, hey? It really is. And those chili flakes, it's just such a great all-rounder when you're after that kind of smoky flavor. So I'm just gonna pulse this. Okay, I want it a little bit mushy, but not like a smoothie. So the texture's looking really good, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of sticking together. It's just a couple of pulses. It's not like a full process, right? That's it, okay? And then I'm gonna put it back into this situation. And it's gonna hold things together a lot better. And when I go to eat it, it's gonna be like joyful and not some psycho mess that I'm gonna make down my top. That tastes delicious. Get it all out of there, those yummy bits, because that's where all the flavour is, right? Dee's in the background going, yeah.
Can't wait to eat it, actually.
Okay. Just mix it in. All right. This is the next bit, and this is where you can kind of do whatever you want, but I have a tomato here, and all I'm going to do is cut it up into little squares. Just to kind of like make a pretend salsa, because remember I've worked all week and I'm tired and I want Mexican food, but I definitely don't want to order out, you know? And so that little pretend salsa that I'm doing now. So in there's going to be some coriander as well. And I'm just going to chop this up just roughly. Running my knife through like that. And then this, I need this. This is going to bring everything home. Just kind of like a really good splash of lime on this. Yum. And then I'm going to need salt and pepper to season it all up. And the last thing I want is some fat content on there, just to bring it home, which is a little bit of olive oil. Just a little. I'm just going to mix this up. Taste it. Oh, the lime is just amazing. Oh my God, sorry, I need to put more in. And have some wedges ready too for others that want to put more in on their, you know, on their situation. Okay. My sour cream recipe is somewhere in the YouTube situation on my channel. I have got some really fine cabbage that I've just sliced up and put into ice cold water. Why? Because it makes it go really crisp and crunchy, and that's what I want. Just want to make sure you drain all that water out actually. Just make sure it's all out. And then just sit that over here. So I feel like, oh my God, this has taken all of like 8 minutes or whatever, even without editing, like it's just so easy. Taco, or what do you call these? Tortilla wraps, corn ones, quinoa ones, amaranth ones, wheat ones, whatever you desire. I just buy mine from a local dude here in Bali. Look what I'm doing here. No, I'm not making them catch on fire. I'm just relaxing them a little in the heat. And I want a bit of that kind of charred, kind of grilled flavour into them as well. I know it's bizarre, but this is what we do. And you don't want to do it too much, like that one's done, right? What I'm going to do is a couple of things. I'll put a little bit of sour cream on the base, and I'm going to stick this glory here. Look what I'm managing here, this and that. I'll turn that off now, Cynthia. Pop that there. And then I'm going to add my salsa, and then my cabbage, and then I'm going to sit it there, ready for the next one. Same thing again, just a little bit of sour cream on the bottom. It can be any sauce you like, really. This here, a little bit of salsa. Oh my God, that sour cream is to die for. And notice how I'm not putting a lot in there. Like, it's not like this intense kind of overflowing of glory. Just a little bit of glory, you know what I mean? Just a little bit. That cabbage last. And then on there. And then the last thing I would do you want to grab me a skewer, Dee? Yeah. Is just add some lime, you know? Just some lime, kind of like all around the place. If somebody wants a little bit of lime on theirs. Just one. And what this is going to do, right, it's just going to hold this little gorgeous little situation here in. This last little bit, I'm just going to continue on until I finish all this. I'm just going to eat this myself, to be honest. It's just gorgeous. See ya. I used to make a lot of rice salads back in the day in health retreats. I used to use purple rice, red rice. I used orange rice once, wild rice. Actually, wild rice is not actually a rice. You know, the long black, we call wild rice. It's actually another rice. I used to mix them with bolotti beans. I used to make them with lentils, salads, like so many different salads we used to make. And I cooked this rice last night, and it takes longer to cook than white rice. It's nuttier, it's a harder variety of rice. It's hard to explain. You know how you cook white rice and it's just like, it absorbs it and it's fluffy and everything. This is different. This is really, I can't explain it on via camera, but you have to get some. You have to get some, follow the instructions on the packet on how to cook red rice. But this is just like, it's chewier. It has this chewiness and it's not falling apart when I squish it like white rice. So it's very, very different. And the reason why I cooked it last night, because I actually like the flavor the next day. This is like the most easiest dish you can make to take to a barbecue. You can take to any kind of potluck dinner, or if you're having friends over and you're having, you know, just a day with mates and you want some salad, this is a great recipe. And it has so much flavour because of that red rice. Cooking it the night before is a must go, and just follow the instructions, like I said, on the packet. I'm just quartering up these artichoke hearts. And the type of artichoke hearts you want to get is ones that are just, you know, in brine, which is the salty water. You just want to wring that out like I did before. So do that. And I've got some really nice, yummy, Moorish roasted almonds here. And these can be any nut or seed, but roasting them gives me more flavor. And it just, oh my God, I was just eating a nut and some rice before, and that's kind of my thing, right? I just love to have food that's just full of flavor in its natural state. It just really brings home its own consciousness, you know what I mean? Like, we're so used to having food drowned out in flavor. And when you just have it, when you just take a nibble of the rice on its own, chewy, nutty, just full of flavour. And then I have a nut. Welcome to my world. With the rice, oh my God, it's just gorgeous. It really is. So just cutting these up roughly.
Are you ready?
I need some olive oil, which I have here. It's a really simple salad. And I have a lime. and a lemon. And the reason why I've got the two different types of citruses is because they add a really beautiful, a balance of acid flavor to them. So lemon is kind of like, for me, is like sweet, and it has a lot of, you know, acid to it, of course, and it has, my mouth's watering thinking about lemon. It has its own distinct flavor, and lime is a little bit different. It has a lot of acid in it as well, but it's not as sweet as lemon. It has its own flavor. And then when you mix the two together, you get a balance of flavor. It's really quite extraordinary. I'm gonna need a lemon squeezer. These limes have seeds. Very common here in Bali, not common in Australia at all. I have never seen a lime with seeds in Australia. I mean, lemons, yeah, all day long, but limes, no. So it was definitely a wake-up call of nature. Okay, just want to add a little bit of salt and pepper to this. And lastly, just to bring that kind of balance of acid home, I want to add a little bit of maple. It's like a teaspoon of maple. And I just want to shake this up, get it all emulsified. Okay, have a taste. Oh, yum, that's delicious. Oh my God, that's my kind of thing. Okay, next, I just want to blanch the frozen edamame that have been shelled into some water. And when I mean blanch, it's like in there for at least like a minute, you know, probably, yeah, about a minute, just to hit them and get them kind of moving. I do want to add salt and pepper. And my water is boiling. So add your edamame to some boiling water. Get the lid back on so it comes up to the boil. You only want this to be about a minute, okay? As soon as that minute comes up, I'm going to throw in these snow peas, and then I'm going to walk my pot over there, and that's just going to be long enough, and I'm going to strain it, and that's how long I'm going to cook the snow peas for. So just bringing this up to the boil again, and then doing that process. Okay, so that's been a minute. I'm going to tumble in my snow peas. Now I'm going to turn off the heat. This is how quick it is. And I'm going to walk over there with this pot and strain it. Because I'm not into cooking the snow peas, just into blanching them just like that. Well, actually blanching is going from really, really hot water and straining it straight away and then plunging it into ice water with lots of ice in it. I want to keep the heat of this and allow that to just do that residual cooking situation. I'm going to use my girlfriend Stephanie's bowl today because it's actually so beautiful and blue. And you're going to add your rice to the bowl. Shake that dressing up, put it over the rice so it soaks in. Artichokes. The almonds. Give this a really good stir. That is it. I love it. I hope you love this. This has just been like, I can't wait to eat it. It's going to be my lunch. When I first made this, I was unsure because it's really traditional. Like, this is a traditional Thai dish, lab, right? And it's normally done with pork mince, and it's done with numerous, you know, flavors and textures, and it makes my mouth water thinking about it. And then when I made this version of it, I was really surprised. I thought, I'm going to share this with you. Okay, so firstly, I just want to get this cauliflower chopped up into a pork mince kind of texture, whatever that means, but you get it. And I'm just going to chop it up roughly like this and throw it back straight into the food processor. And just a quick pulse. Okay, perfect. And you can kind of see what that looks like, right? It's kind of what we're after, which is cool. So that's aside and ready to go. And now we've got everything ready. So this is what I would love you to do, is get it ready like I do. This is what chefs do, and this is why we're so cruisy and you kind of think that we know what we're doing, right? It's because everything's organized. And so if you can just manage to have everything organized, spend 20 minutes on mise en place, we call it preparing everything. Now we can gather up our now and cook in such a beautiful, easy way instead of chopping and trying to cook and chop at the same time. So have it ready, have your space cleared, the energy's cleared and you're ready to go. So this is the process. Ready, now rice. Now what we're gonna do with the rice, come over here with me, Gungun, watch that light there. We're gonna add this rice to a pan and we're gonna toast it. Actually, I might use this pan here so you can see. I've got so many pans down here, I tell you. So we can toast it, and what we're gonna do is toast it and then we're going to blend it, and it's gonna be nice and fine, and this is what's gonna suck up the moisture and hold things together. And like I said, if this was done with pork, you would be sucking up the fat. So heat up the pan, let that get hot a bit, and then we're gonna add our rice. Okay, we're ready. It's all happening in here today. Spoon. Pan, no oil, see? No oil, hot. Don't do what I do, which is I do that because my hands are asbestos hands. So we're roasting the rice. Why? Because they said so. Thais know. I'm just simply copying them. That's all I'm doing, their technique. So when you dry roast something, right, stay with it. Don't be walking off over there and like, how you going today, you know, chatting. Don't be doing that. Just, you know, don't do that. Stay here with it when you're dry roasting something because it burns very, very, very quickly. Spoon. Notice how everything's on tap for me. This is one of the things that a lot of my fans do, is they go home and they get a screwdriver and they take off the cupboards off their pantry. I love it because I did the same thing when I was renting a tiny little apartment, and just have it all open so you can see. And what it does is it induces you into this romance of food, and you kind of like got no choice but to cook, and then you fall in love with the idea and you burn stuff and break stuff like I do, and yeah, make mistakes. Then you start again, begin again, constantly beginning again. So we don't want to make this black or anything, we just want to make this a little bit brown, and you'll see how that'll unfold. It takes a good 10 minutes actually, to be honest, but you want to stay with it. So this is the time where you kind of, the kids are running around and things are happening, you kind of just chill out and just stay one with the rice. Okay, see how it's becoming a little bit brown? It's smoking. It's a dry roast. I'm constantly moving it around the pan. If you can't do the swirl and flick, just use a spoon. But definitely move your pan around like this, yeah, because it just gets things nice and even. How easy is that? It smells good, right? Yeah. Interesting, yeah? Yeah. Okay, so that's nice and golden brown. Perfect, okay. I'm going straight into here. This is what you guys are going to do at home. Now, if you don't have a high-speed blender that can handle heat, just cool it down a little bit, or you can grind it in your mortar and pestle, okay? Just depends what you have. And if you have a magic bullet or anything like that, don't fret, just put it in there, it's fine. Just let it cool down a little. So, straight into here. Just gonna put this pan on while I'm waiting, because we're gonna need that heat to start cooking in a minute. Making sense so far? Are you with me? Good, all right. And you want this to grind down, so I'm going to go straight onto high speed. Okay. Perfect. All right, so you really want to make sure that's grounded down really well, because you don't want little bits of rice that have been roasted breaking your teeth. So have a look how fine that is. You can kind of see there's no big chunks in there at all. It's perfect. Amazing, right? Okay, and now we're ready to cook Actually, Lasmi, can you take these for me away so we can have some room? Thank you, my friend. So I'm constantly, you know, making sure my area is workable, so I don't get into that flusting state. I know a lot of people say to me, like, I don't cook because it's too hard, and when they join me on my cooking classes online, they're like, oh wow, I get it now. So just remember that everything takes time. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook the cauliflower and the mushrooms. I'm gonna pop that in there like that, and this is our meat situation here. And everything else is kind of ready over here, as you can see. Okay, come over this way, Gungun. Now I popped this pan on before because I want it to be quite hot, and it is getting hot. I want a little bit of sesame seed oil, just a little for flavour. Just adds a lovely flavour to everything. And then I'm going to dump that into there. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper. No salt as yet because we're going to add tamari, and that omomboshi plum vinegar is quite salty. And we just want to cook this down, so just stay with it. So I'm on a high heat. I've got a little bit of oil in there, just a tiny bit for fragrance. Fragranty, lovely scent sesame oil has. And we're just going to stay with it. And just cook this down. So when a chef says cook it down, I mean, what does that mean to you really? It means cooking it down. So this is not down yet, this is still plump. It hasn't fallen into a beautiful, yummy, delicious mess yet, has it? So that's what we mean by cooking it down. So everything just does its thing. So I reckon this will take a good 5 minutes. And watch your heat too. Like if it's too high, turn it down. Manage your heat. Look at your pan. If things are starting to kind of brown, turn it down. Just really get involved. You know, cooking is building. It's not about the recipe and that's it, and then you follow it. No, it's not. It's about building, and building slowly. Now you can see this is cooked down, right? It's really cooked down. Everything's doing its thing. This is what we mean by cooking it down. Nothing's burning. That tiny little bit of oil that I put in, because I've been adjusting the heat. Perfect, right? Those flavours of the mushrooms coming out. Everyone's hungry actually behind the scenes because it's just perfectly delicious. Simple, right? Simple ingredients. Simple, simple, simple. Okay, so water's starting to come out of this now. So the waters are coming out of the mushrooms because mushrooms are fungi. So they have a lot of water content, and vegetables in general have a lot of water content. So like I said, 5 minutes. I started with a hot pan, remember. Not too hot, adjusting your heat. I kind of repeat myself because I really want you to sink into the art of cooking, because the reason why we cook is because we're hungry. There's no other reason. And we're losing that beautiful moment because our culture is changing. And one of the most important things you can do is spend time just cooking at least one meal a week. Okay, this is perfect. All right, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to dump it into there. See how that's really beautifully cooked down? And like I said, nothing's burnt on there. I didn't put any salt, remember, normally I put salt because salt is the building blocks of flavour, but because we're going to put tamari and omomboshi plum vinegar in there, it's quite salty, and we'll add salt last. Okay, so this is where we start to pimp up this situation. Shallots. Beautifully finely cut, delicious shallots. This is where we add flavour. You can put as much in as you like. And I've got some spring onions. All right. And I've got some chilli, and yes, they are big bits. This is a capsicum chilli I call, which is a long chilli which doesn't have much heat in it at all. Now notice how I put my herbs in water. And the reason why I did that is because I want them to be super crisp and fresh when I add them to this dish. You can put it into a salad spinner if you like. I just don't have mine right on tap right now. Okay, gonna add that. And then I'm gonna add the tomatoes. Beautiful, huh? And now we're going to add our omboboshi plum vinegar. This is our fish sauce replacement. And now we're going to add our tamari. Obviously you guys are going to measure yours. And now we need to add some acid, which is some lime juice. Oh my God, that just was amazing. Amazing. And now we need to get that a nice little stir. Beautiful little salad, this one. Like really sensational. And now we need a taste. It's very wet, as you can see, right? It's got a lot of moisture in there. Oh my God, it looks amazing. And now we want to taste it to see where we're at. Oh yeah, brilliant. And now I'm going to add a little bit of salt to it. A little bit more vinegar, just for that acid. Mixing beautifully. And now you need to taste again. Always tasting, always tasting. Very important. Fantastic. And this is where we add that rice, and that's just going to suck up all that moisture, which is super important. Oh, I'm so glad you're with me on this journey of this amazing plant-based larb. Oh, that's already doing its thing now. Now larb, like I said, is normally done with pork mince and sometimes chicken mince as well, or a mix of both. I've got these gorgeous little lettuce cups here. I know, right? Look at them. Hey, Lasmi, you want to cut me some lime? I think some lime is in the back there. A couple of pieces of lime. Just want some more acid in there. Yep, right in the back here. In the back of that container. Yeah, no, that's okay. No worries, mate. This is my home kitchen where everything is everywhere, you know, just like your home. Like you've got stuff in certain places, right? It's so cool. Okay, so this is how you serve larb. You pop it onto a plate, like this. All the bits, pieces. Oh, it looks like, definitely looks like chicken, doesn't it? And pork, doesn't it? And just a few more of those lovely herbs on top, if we have them. And I just want a little bit more of this kind of scattered in there as well. And then we serve it with these lettuce cups on the side, keeping it super simple. And then another wedge of lime. Now notice how my limes have seeds in them. What a blessing that is. And that, my friends, is how you make a plant-based larb. Do you want to try? Yeah. Oh yeah. It's so good. It's so good. It's so hard to eat. You have to make this. I will see you online. Comment below, talk to me, ask me questions. I bet you can ask me where I got that omboboshi plum vinegar from. Health food store, have a Google online. Just ask me stuff. Like, I'm here. This is what I do and I love it. Bye.